Alrighty boys, the Jupe ecosystem is absolutely printing green candles in the trenches over the last couple of weeks. And after we caught Crumb at about 400k market cap the other day, I figured I would bring you guys another Jupe Studio token that I think has the potential to do at least a 10x from where it's currently at. Today we're going to be talking about a token that's based off of a super viral internet meme that's been around for about 10 years now, quite similar to Crumb in that regard. But instead today we're going to be covering AlwaysHasBeen. Similar to Crumb and a lot of the other tokens that I am currently bullish on, it was also launched on Jupe Studio. A lot of these tokens lately have been having crazy run-ups and then massive drawdowns before their next massive explosion toward the upside. And I'm thinking that because of that, we're going to be getting a lot of good entries on a lot of Jupe Studio tokens over the next week or two before the markets start to go really parabolic in Q3 and Q4 this year. Anyways, with that introduction out of the way, be sure to leave a like on this video if you do enjoy at any point. Definitely consider subscribing and turning notifications on if you are new around here. We got plenty more content coming for you guys. I've been putting this off for way too long now. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look at AlwaysHasBeen on Sol. Alrighty boys, so if we take a look at the chart on AlwaysHasBeen, we can see that we are currently sitting at about a $300,000 market cap. This is a very low cap token, especially when I'm showing it to you guys. It's the middle of the night. We have seen a bit of a sell-off over the last couple of hours. We were at about a 500k market cap earlier, but regardless, after coming out at the end of July, AlwaysHasBeen has had two absolutely amazing runs to 2.5 mil. At the start of the week, we did have a pretty massive sell-off, but if you were active in the markets at the start of the week, you'll know that the whole market sort of took a bit of a dump. After that massive sell-off that we saw at the start of the week, though, we do seem to have found a support level of around 200k market cap, and since then, over the past couple of days, we've just been sort of consolidating on a slight upward trend between 600k and 200k market cap. If we take a look at how the chart performed on AlwaysHasBeen in the first couple of days of its launch, we can see that it did take a couple of days for it to break past 1 mil, but when it finally did, it did have a bit of a drawdown to around 600k before blasting back off to its all-time high. But that's where I'm getting this level from here, and since then, we have touched this level about 3 times on the chart, first as a level of support, and now twice as a level of resistance over the past day or two. I do think that we're going to bounce off of these 200k support levels one more time, but I do expect a recovery on this token over the course of the next couple of days. I do personally think that holders are about to start outperforming traders drastically as we approach this upcoming bull cycle. And if you think you have the conviction to be a holder as opposed to a flipper or a scalper or a trader or whatever you want to call it, I think we're looking at an absolutely beautiful time to start positioning yourself in the markets, but more specifically the Jupe ecosystem, as I've been talking about a lot in my recent videos. Roughly 2 months ago, Jupiter Exchange came out with their launchpad Jupe Studio, and when it came out, people were excited about it, but after a little while, it slowly faded into the background until the last couple of weeks. But recently, more and more liquidity has been flowing into Jupe Studio. Rightfully so, they're by far the best launchpad in the space. People just have yet to give them the credit they deserve in that regard, in my opinion. With all that being said, I think that good memes with mass appeal, like AlwaysHasBeen, are going to do incredibly well in the Jupiter ecosystem. Like I said before, we may not be looking at like a 1000x trade on AlwaysHasBeen or anything like that, but even if we retest all-time highs from right here and you're able to enter at about 287k, what we're looking at right now, already that's a 9.5 10x on the trade. So as you can see, AlwaysHasBeen does have an official X account as well as an X community. I'll link both of those down in the description below, as well as their official website, which has an AlwaysHasBeen meme coin generator on it. So if you go over to their official website, in the top right corner you'll see meme generator. Basically, this is just a little tool that allows you to change the text as well as the planet in the background. So for example, when we run all the way to $10 million market cap and melt faces, I can have the first astronaut saying, wait, it was a 10 mil plus token all along, and this astronaut standing behind him saying AlwaysHasBeen. So this kind of stuff is obviously always useful to have if you're looking to work your bags. Having an abundance of unique content for a certain token that you're trying to push every day can keep things refreshing as opposed to just copy pasting the same 4 pictures over and over again. I personally use ChatGPT a lot for this. I mentioned this earlier over on X. Follow me over there if you aren't already. But I really like to use ChatGPT image generation for this kind of stuff. I'll take the original artwork from a meme token project, I'll put it into ChatGPT and ask it to regenerate the image for me in different expressions, different scenarios, different environments, but always with the caveat that it needs to be regenerated in the same art style as the original image. That's just a little tip for you guys if you ever want to head over to ChatGPT and take advantage of AI to pump your own bags. Now, one thing that's really important to pay attention to when trying to build conviction on a token that you're in is not just supply distribution, not just the top holders, but also the big buys that are coming in and becoming top holders. Real quick, if we take a look over at Axiom, because it has a wallet tracker and Dex Screener doesn't, you can see that I recently tracked 2 wallets after they bought a big amount of AlwaysHasBeen. And why did I track them, you may ask? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what other tokens they're holding right now. So the first wallet that I tracked made a grand total of $34,000 off of Uranus, which would absolutely be considered a quote-unquote Uranus whale. Now, the second wallet that I started tracking is currently holding $31,000 worth of Uranus, and that's $25,000 in profit. He hasn't sold a cent. Now, as I'm sure we're all fully aware, Uranus is the #1 performing token that's launched on Jupe Studio so far, and so if we are are already starting to see whales accumulate from that token as well at these levels on AlwaysHasBeen, then obviously that shows that other smart traders, other smart money has conviction in this token as well, even at such a low market cap. Anyways, boys, I do appreciate you sticking around to this point of the video. If you did, if you enjoyed at any point, be sure to leave a like. It helps my content reach more people, and I would really appreciate it. Definitely consider subscribing and turning notifications on if you are new around here. And with all that out of the way, I'm out of here. Peace.